Well, hi, I'm here today at Magnum Motorhomes in Grimsby, and the reason I'm here is because I want to have a look around and see what is available. Lots of people talked about Magnum Motorhomes, haven't been here before, have been to places nearby in the area and bought things for previous vans that I've built. And the question I've got for next year is, do I buy a pre-built motorhome that everything's been done in, or do I still keep the option of building one myself? And of course there are pros and cons with both options. Isn't it great to just go and say, right, I'm going to buy a motorhome, it's all built, everything's done, everything's ready, and you don't have to go shopping, you don't have to buy all the different bits and pieces that you need when you're buying a motorhome. But the other kind of downside is that you buy a van not quite knowing the quality of the work that has been done. Now, there are some great independent, I don't know if that's the right way of describing them, but say smaller, more focused builders that are about these days who have a real eye on quality and the products that they use and the items that they install in the van for managing the electrics and so on. And there are also manufacturers who allow you to select and choose what you want to be used in that van. So for example, if you want LPG to run your cooker, your hob, your heating and your water heating, then you can choose that. Or if you want to go down the newer diesel heating for water and habitation area, so that keeping the van warm, warming the water for the shower, for the sink and for the wash basin, then you can ask for that too. Now, some of the vans that I have been looking at from the larger sort of, I'm going to say, mass produced kind of motorhome converters seem to have like a specific thing that they do for that model, because they repeat building that model. And the problem with that is, if, for example, I was looking at the Swift vans for next year, and I quite like the look of the Swift vans, I quite like the design, I think it's kind of a little bit more modern, a little bit lighter and airier inside in the Carrera range. But I do have some concerns on that, in that there is no option to say I want to have a diesel water and air heating system, or there is this ongoing issue with the 3.9 kilogram propane gas bottle sizes that they still recommend for most of the vans in the Carrera range. So do I go and start buying pipes? Do I go and start buying various electronic components and building a van from scratch again? Now, the benefit of doing that is, coming to a place like this at Magnum Motorhomes, is they've got lots and lots of things. They don't have, and they were quite honest about when I had a chat with them at the desk, they're quite honest about the things that they do and the things that they don't do. So for example, for water tanks, for like bespoke fitted water tanks, if you wanted them not go in the right space on a chassis for a Sprinter or for a Crafter or whatever it might be you're looking at, then there are places who apparently do those that are all pre-molded for the right shape, and you can get the right fitting kit and everything. They don't do those, but they do a lot of stuff in here, and it reminds me of going back, I don't know, 15 plus years ago when I did a large van from scratch. And it took me a long time, but I was working full time at that time too, so it was like evenings and weekends, but it took me the best part of a year to do it, because there are so many things to do to not only create the van, but to make it look in all the nooks and crannies with all the right trims, not like it's being kind of made in a way that doesn't fit the value of the van. So if I'm going to buy a brand new Sprinter, for example, and I'm going to be spending 60 grand plus VAT on it, now that's already almost the price of a motorhome. But in that van, I would have automatic gearbox, I'd have adaptive cruise control, I'd have a better media system, I'd have lots of things that you cannot get and specify, again, if you go with some of the more mass-produced vehicles that are available. Should I be getting back into the whole concept of building? Because, you know, often things like the doors that go on the top lockers or the top boxes are not available in a full range of colours. You can see them here. You've got this kind of driftwood look, and then these dark bands at the bottom gives it a little bit of variety. I think the ones I would probably go for are these with this kind of silver trim in, because these do look a little bit more or less dark. And I think, you know, for me, the white gloss and typically the white gloss and the driftwood in the right balance, I think looks modern but still looks homely. It doesn't look too clinical, and it doesn't look that, you know, too overwhelmingly just wood. They seem to do a lot of range of the wall boards and the panels here as well. I did ask the question, as part of the shower cubicle, do they do the UPVC paneling that you can use if you're going to put that inside to make it like a watertight unit? And she did say they don't do the UPVC paneling, but they do some hygiene board stuff, which I think some people use. Personally, I would want to do it in the thicker, you know, the 5mm UPVC paneling to make it watertight. But they do seem to have a range of shower bases in here. They've got all things like, you know, cupboard handles, cupboard hinges, a variety of catchers and latchers, and all the sorts of things you need if you're going to be building a variety of cupboards. They have things for, like, you know, smaller camper vans here as well. There's like a display unit there for like a VWT6. They do ovens and combined ovens and hobs, grills. Here's one example, and here's a sort of a larger one just next to it. And in addition to that, they do like a range of hobs and sinks as well. Now all this, of course, I'm showing you here, but it is available as well through their website, and it's probably easier to kind of identify what you need and then go onto their website and see what the price is, see you know, what the dimensions are, things like that, just to make sure that when you buy whatever it is you're buying, that it fits your particular vehicle. Particularly if it's a smaller vehicle you're thinking of converting, like a VWT 5, T6, T6.1, they really do need the dimensions to be just right when you're fitting everything, and certain fridge will fit in and other fridges won't, depending on whether you've got a sliding seat on rails or whether you've got a fixed seat, etc. So lots to think about. All the electronic stuff seems to be here too, the, you know, traditional kind of Sargent panels, and then there's a lot of stuff in here that they've got as well from the Victron brand, which again, you know, watching lots of videos, it seems like lots of people converting vans now are using the Victron stuff, which kind of seemed to start coming through for initially like the solar controllers. So, you know, I now believe you can pretty much do everything in here, and you couple it up with lithium batteries. You can have the engine charging control unit, and you can have solar panels on the roof and all of that stuff. And everybody who talks about this Victron stuff says it is the best quality. So I think they do some kits that you can buy, and then you can buy the individual components too. And again, all that is kind of, I had a quick look at their website, all of that's kind of set out on their website too, but you can sort of go in store and ask questions and buy things from there too. It would be good to have that kind of brand and quality of stuff in a van, should I make one, with the ability to control everything on my phone and whatever through an app. They do other things here, like, you know, awnings, or they're trying to do a little bit of everything for everybody. But one of their principal activities is providing items for people who are building motorhomes. Or I think from looking outside when I was in the car park, there were actually some look like professional servicing companies there as well, buying products. So maybe they do some trade stuff as well. Now at the minute they did tell me before I went over there that they're doing some work here in the centre of the warehouse on some of the racking systems, so the lights are lower, and as we go around the rest of this area, I'm sure that the action camera picks everything up, and you can see what there is to look at. But they did say to me in advance, it's not fully finished. We are kind of doing a lot of moving around at the minute towards the year end, and we're doing some racking changes. So yeah, here's all the stuff you can get as a kit for like the water system, the pump, the container that stops the pump from surging, anti-surge device, whatever it's called. You've got like these diesel heaters that you can get as well, and gas heaters that you can get. So they do seem to have a good range of the more like fundamental parts of building a van, as well as the more decorative parts of building a van. And here's just as I mentioned, they do doing here a range of the sinks. I couldn't open that one, however hard I tried. And then yeah, I mean, there's a little kind of 2-burner hob. So again, depending on the size you want to get, you can probably get it from here or order it through there. These are the swivel bases for the seats. So if I were to buy a van that just had forward facing seats, but I had 2 separate captain's chair type seats, then I could get what look here to be very sturdy swivel plates for them, and the sort of fitting accessories and things. So that's about it really. I just wanted to mention that I've been across here, had a look around at some things, and I've got a bit of thinking to do now. Do I keep on the list the idea that I actually buy the van I want and then convert it myself? I've actually lost a lot of money over the years doing that. I never make money on buying in a high spec van and then converting it, because everybody else is selling a lower spec van, and when it comes to selling it, they quite often, and let's be honest, motorhomes and camper vans right now are, in my view, sky high in price, aren't they? So it's not like you can afford to waste sort of 30-40 grand on converting one yourself and not hold its value because it doesn't have a book price like perhaps one you would buy. Although the spec would be better, everything inside it would be better, and it would be bespoke but very, very desirable, hopefully, if I did it right. Take that away and think about it. Just another thing on the list. Well, thank you for watching this. Hopefully, if you are interested in vehicles, interested in the idea perhaps of converting a van yourself, Magnum Motorhomes is probably somewhere you should consider taking a look at. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Bye bye for now.